Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. My name is Nova Kane, and this is Project Aura. A game that I think has a little bit of Anno 2070 DNA in it. Publishers got in contact with me. Well, actually, I emailed them first saying, your game looks amazing. Just came out of early access. And I asked, could I have some review code, please? Please, sir, please. And they're like, yeah, sure, great. So they're a lovely team. I've been chatting with the devs on Steam Chat now. We're best buds on Steam Chat. So really, really good team over at Pixel Quality Games covering this title. So this will just be a spotlight. We might do some other videos on this as well because it is, I mean, first impressions, and I'm not showing anything yet, but first impressions are perhaps out of the oven a little early. I think it might have benefited from another couple of months. I know the devs were very excited to get it into the 1.0 stage. It has been in development since 2015, so a lot of work has gone into this game. You can see here, release version down there. But let's have a look at the options that we can do. So resolution, not sure if it supports 4K. I don't want that. I want 1920 by 1080. That's what I want. Full screen. Let's see if we can do that. Okay, audio master. Stellar Drone. This is a cool thing that you can put music files in a well, there we are. My Docs, Project Aura, My Music. You can put your own soundtrack in there. That's quite cool. Stellar Drone. I don't know what that is. Who Stellar Drone is. And the default soundtrack. Now, you might start to hear the music in this particular track just sort of starts to just raise and raise, build and build, and it gets overwhelming. Language, English, it supports these languages at launch. Autosave, yes. Disable log pop-ups, log gravity colors. I don't want to hide tips, so we're going to go next. Come back. Yes. Okay. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to start a new game. It does have a tutorial series that I went through. It's very, very good. It gives you how long it will take on each one. See, the music's going mental. It is very recommended to have done the tutorials before starting the campaign. Some of the language, in English at least, I don't know about the other translations, but it is a bit broken. It is a bit broken English. And I'm actually offering to help the studio, you know, maybe clean it up a little bit, because I'm a bit of a spelling and grammar person, and I'm not saying that's a good thing to be. It bugs me. It's my problem. But yeah, we'll probably do a tutorial as well. So, oh no, don't want to do that. Okay, new game. Here we go. SciFi Spotlight, Project Aura, or Project Aura, according to the trailer of this game. And I might put the trailer in at the end, or no, I'll link it in the description. So we've got affinities. Again, this 2070, but we've got 5 now instead of just 2, and then the tech faction after you get 10,000 somethings. So EcoCorp. And these are their philosophies. Oh, but I've jumped the gun a little bit. What's Project Aura all about? So it's actually the year 12,018. Because there's a climate disaster. And everyone just went, nope, we can't get off the planet. But perhaps we can still survive this. So they put them all in cryogenic suspension on these very robust floating platforms run by the Vital Reserve. Oh, neutral. Yeah. The planet's been divided into sectors, and each is controlled by a Vital Reserve, the new centers of political and economic influence. So After 10,000 years, these colonies are now awakening. And in each colony, you'll have a platform in the very center that's controlled by the vital reserve. But you can choose to align yourself with one of these 4 ideologies. Save the planet. Go back to the old ways of industry and commerce. Leave the planet. And start a new civilization in the domes. So, there we are. We're going to go neutral for our affinity this time. Colony! Auto-generate. Loving that. We're going to call it Titan. And we can just randomize the colors until we find something we like, or we can pick them out in detail. Let's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is the lucky number, and he's looking fabulous, and she's looking quite nervous, actually. We can spin them around. Beautiful. And packing. Right, so here we are. We can, well, we can't get affinity quests because we are with the Vital Reserve. Music's going mental again. So we've got climate disasters, social events, uprisings basically, and logistical challenges. So, but we'll get into that later. Difficulty low. That's money. It's money. Low. It's just your starting difficulty. So we'll keep it on medium. Now you can choose to get 2 extra things if you want. They cost money. Cost 5,000 each. So the Explorer pack, 2 shields for the Alpha ship. We're not going to do that. Tier 2 food. Yeah, we'll do that for a little bit of a morale boost. And wildcard influence. That's important for markets, but that only leaves us with 20,000 space credits. I don't know what that means. Survivor credits. Let's call them survivor credits. That's more lore friendly. So then we activate the colony and baboosh. And baboosh. Have a little sip of squash. And let's get into Project Aura. I do really like the soundtrack. And this game is a bit of a time sink. So here we are. Welcome, citizen from the 21st century. After the predicted 10,000 years, temperature gauges confirm the beginning of a new glaciation. In their quest to seek out better conditions for survival, the last remnants of humanity awaken once more, for money, on the Earth they once knew. So the colony Titan, there we are, has been activated. You are at the controls of a sophisticated complex prepared to withstand the most adverse weather conditions. You have been assigned the mission of building a habitat capable of survival in this new unknown world. We get 2 AI 9000. Just one more, and then it would be, you know, over 9,000. That'd be great. Vital Reserve has given us a dome grid. Allows you to set up your dome grid properties, spacing and elasticity, making your shields resistant against certain damages, but at the same time weaker against others. That's something for the mid game. Police drone enables. That's a blueprint. Blueprints. We need to talk about blueprints. Enables the flight path for the police drone. Let's go continue. Would you like additional tips? Why not? So we'll pause it always. Spacebar to pause. You have received 4 packings containing special items and a few water and seaweed portions to feed your colony. You will find them in your inventory. So let's click inventory. And here are our packs. So we've got a stockpile, a mixed blueprint pack, that's the food we paid for, and wildcard influence. So we're going to use these, and actually we're not going to use it right now because I haven't built anything. Inspiring food, tier 2 food. Cornbread and shiitake mushrooms. Beautiful. That goes then into organic. And we've also got our standard stockpile. Mixed blueprint pack. Again, we'll talk about blueprints and what they do. And the stockpile. So, alpha polymers. That's a plastic polymers. And control panel. That's all stuff we need to build ships. No, not build everything. Build all the sort of tier 1 buildings. So, let's look around the interface. This is it. You can zoom out. You can manipulate the camera. Outside the dome. You can see it's horrible out there. And that's what those little green lines... Not green lines. What am I talking about? White lines are powering. But the camera controls... This is it. That's your maximum zoom level. There's no... Yeah, you can never see the horizon. I'm not even sure if it's programmed to be able to see the horizon. But you don't need it. You just will be looking at this pretty much the entirety of your time in this game. So, before we get into the complicated bits of this Sci-Fi Spotlight episode, we shall look at the cryogenics room. Okay, so we've got all these guys. And they are unfreezing. We'll let them unfreeze. And then we'll go through what they do. So, every building that you build requires a director to run it. So we've got Boyd Stevens and Lorenzo Duncan. Pilots, artisans, recyclers, technicians, and operators, all with different coloured helmets, so you can tell them apart, even though you barely ever see them. They have specific goals, specific proclivities, skills, whatever you want to call it. So the first thing we need to do is to get them somewhere to live. Because if I push this, ba-boom. So we need to get them somewhere to live. We can build anywhere on any of these 6 platforms. So you can see here are all the control interfaces, and they are all accessible through the above QWERTY numpad. So let's go to 4, which is the construction menu. They need to change the logo to like a hammer or something, because that's not very clear. Right. And you can see each of the 4 corporations, the Cosmos Corporation, Ecos, basically all the ones that we didn't do. Corporative. Stop getting distracted. So, yeah, they're all of the 4 corporations. So the Conservatives mainly are about ships. And that means not actual ships, it means planes. So, but you see what I mean. Eco is all about health and food. Industrial, about building materials and materials processing. Cosmos, all about health, welfare, industrial kitchens, you know, all the stuff about going to space, including, of course, tech labs, which are very important. We might not have time for that, but we will do tutorials about this game. So, let's build a residential. Now, here's a cool thing. Right, cool thing. We've got 3 modules. 4 modules. Hostel, residential block, apartment building, and estate. Now, we can see if we wanted... what one's that? That's an estate. I need 2,000 gamma prefab. That means nothing to you, and that's fine. 1,000 steel ingots. 1,000... what? Electrum ingot. Okay. And an electric transformer. I have no idea how to build any of those. I've not got that far. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. But the point is, we can do that. Or we can adjust the blueprint so we only need 1 director. Right? So let's future-proof. Residential block. Let's... No. No. Hostel. Another hostel. Let's make a dual hostel. Make it nice and symmetrical. Pop it there. You'll see it'll double our construction cost, but that is absolutely fine. That will store up to... Oh, it's gone now. 3, 4. I hope it saved that. Yes, it did. That will store up to 30, I believe, colonists. So we'll drag one out. And we're going to put it sort of... Let's put it here, because you can't really see behind it. So we'll put that there. Now, you can see, in the cryogenics room, key 3, you have colonists available to join your colony. Your profiles will vary depending on the affinity you chose when activating it. The colonists will be available for 5 days, so you don't need to wake them up right now. The game goes quite slowly. You can increase the speed here, but let's have a look. So 2 unlinked blueprints. Recover organic waste and recover organic waste. That's for each of the 2 there. But you only need 1 director. So, let's get a director. And now, we are going to need to get 2 sanitarians. And now we come to blueprints. And we've only built our first building, but this is how it all works. Okay, so this is the organization chart. I get that because I right-clicked on it. So close that, right-click. So we've got the building. We can expand this. We've got the building there. Now, there is something that you can do. There is a process that can be performed in a any kind of habitable building. Where people sleep and, dream of a better future. And that is to recover organic waste. So that's food waste, and that's your black water, and even grey water, because you're going to get stuff in the shower water that you can then reprocess into various other things. So blueprints are not about buildings. They're about processes that happen inside the building. A blueprint for as I said, as a process. So, we're going to take 2 of our blue ones. Yep, so we can buy some. So, recover organic waste, we can't buy that. So, we didn't do that. And we're going to do 1 more. And now, if we press this, it will automatically fill it with available workers and items. So we've got a director. We need 2 sanitarians. Let's wake them up. Need to unfreeze. I'd like a sound of unthawing there. Right, sanitarians are ready. Activate them. And you can press this to have it just continuously go. And it will do that. But at the moment, there's no one actually living in it apart from these people. So they're basically just cleaning up after themselves. Very, very self-sufficient. But now that we've got colonists, we need to feed them. So let's have a look. Key 5 for food. So at the moment, supplies for 3 colonists. That's our director and 2 sanitarians for 3 days. That's not good. So we need to decide what they're going to eat. Organic. Let's see what we have here. We have seaweed portions. We have water. And then we also have some cornbread and some shiitake mushrooms. We don't have supplies of those, and we're not going to be able to make them for quite a while. So we're not going to include them in the menu. Drag it up. Drag it up. And activate. So at the moment we have supplies for almost, what's that, about a third of a year? So not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. Obviously, as we have more colonists eating this food, then that number will go down. But let's have a look. So food hydration, that's the water. Food nutrition, that's the edible seaweed. And food morale is +2, +1 for each different food in the menu. So they're like food diversity, but they just woke up, so they're probably hungry, but they'll eat anything, so that's all right. So you can see, they're already making it. So I could sell that if I wanted. I could just drag it there. It's worth 0.5 survivor credits each. But, oh, yes, Still Waiting by Tom Chaplin is on my Spotify. And if I press the wrong button on my mouse, he comes up. So let's just, let's wait for him. Brilliant singer. Love him. So, what do we need to build? First things first. How does stuff come into the colony to be processed in the first place? Through scavenging. So we are going to go to this, and we are going to go to Alpha Ship Mission. We're going to go to Alpha Ship Mission. We're going to go to Alpha Ship Mission. So, let's pause again. Hopefully we have enough resources to sort this out. Oh, no, that's the market. Right. So, we need basically to have aircraft capable of scouring the seabed and bringing back what they find. And we are going to build 2 of them. This is template number 2, so we have enough for that. So, and that neatly fills one of these entire platforms, if I orient it correctly. Okay, and now you see we've got 2 unlinked blueprints. Extraction of plastics and metals. Okay. We don't have any ships, do we? Oh no, we have 1. We have 1 alpha ship. Okay, so let's do that, and it's automatically assigned one of the alpha ships. Let's buy 1 more. Actually, let's buy 2 more. That's a lot of money. Let's buy that. Okay, and now we've got our second alpha ship. We need the pilots. We've got 1 pilot there. We're going to need to get another one and another director. Oh no, we've got a director, Lorenzo. So pilots are over here. I don't want to work. I didn't want to wake him. Yeah, we need to unpause for them to unfreeze. Now we've got our director. We've got 1 pilot. Got a second pilot. And now, what are we going to need them to do? So we've got metallic extraction, organic, or plastic. Organics are what we can use to get more, organic stuff. Like seaweed, anything. All needs to be recycled. But we're going to do what it suggested. We're going to have 1 for plastic, and we're going to say keep going until I tell you to stop. And you see there, off he goes. He's going to trawl the seabed. The second one, metallic extraction, we're also going to do the same. And activate. What they're going to bring back, we can press F2, or we can go crafting info. So metallic extraction will produce metal garbage. Organic extraction will produce that. Plastic extraction. You remember all those bags? All those plastic bags that you have to pay for? Well, in this reality, you never had to pay for them, so everyone used thousands, and now they're just floating the oceans. So we're going to collect them, and we're going to reprocess them. So we're just going to wait for those guys to come back. But before they do... Yes, I've got that just hanging out. Before they do... we are going to need to build a recycling center, so to process all of these. So let's have a look. Where are we? Recycling plant. So again, there are 2 things: recycling plants to generate raw materials, and assembly plants to assemble things, mainly electronic things, out of metal waste. We don't want that at the moment. We just want the recycling plant, and we're doing plastic and metallic, so we're going to want two recycling operations in one. There we are, easy peasy. And then we'll turn that off, and that is a valid blueprint. We just drag it out. You see, we can afford it. We'll drag it out, and we'll put it relatively close to the I mean, it doesn't matter. I can put it anywhere. Will it fit up there? No, we'll fit over there. We'll put it over there. There we are. 2 unlinked blueprints. Both of those will be recycling, because recycling. You see? You see? And what... If we go, what building is that? It's an eco one, so it's going to be green blueprints. So, here we are. Recycling. And recycling. Okay. But we're going to need some... We've got 1 recycler. We are going to need a director. We are going to need as many as recyclers as we can. So, Erin Austin, Homer Pate, Hazel Simpson, and Charlie Malone are all there. Right, so we've got our blueprints, we've got our recyclers, metals, and plastics. And as soon as they come in, let's see what we're going to get. Okay. So we're going to get some iron scrap, some electronic waste, some gadgets. So those are your old iPhones. And 10% chance of something else. All in all, we can sell that for... Oh, I didn't know that. You can automatically sell everything. So if you've got loads of something, you could just sell it. Stop stockpiling it. So that's good. I've only just found that now. But we can't do it yet. We need to wait for the ships to come back. So metals and plastics. Next thing we need is to turn those plastics into materials that we can use. So if we go to plastic, we see we've got 1,200 alpha polymers. That's been the main construction material that we've been using. That's what these polymers are what these all this is made out of, and the recycling plants themselves are made out of. It's all alpha polymers, no metal at all. So we need to build a plastic factory so that we can become somewhat self-sufficient in that regard. And when we get on our feet and become somewhat self-sufficient, then we'll call it a day for this episode of the Sci-Fi Spotlight Plastics Factory. So this is the standard one. We have just enough to do it. So to make the alpha polymers, we need to do 3 things. We need to sort, we need to grind, we need to melt to produce the polymers. Plastic sorting, because there are 3 grades. There's alpha, beta, and gamma. Oh, hello. Our ships are coming back. Our metallic extraction. And you can see now that the plastics one must have come back before. So now that's operating. So we're going to have some plastic stuff to do. Ah, we already do. Here we are. Plastic garbage. That's being processed. So, oh no, I'll turn that off. So yeah. Oh! To transform it into a polymer suitable for fun, you need the plastics factory. Yep, way ahead of you. So let's plop this down. 3 unlinked blueprints. Indeed, 3 unlinked processes. Plastic grinding. Plastic melting. And plastic sorting. Do that. Boom. Now we are going to need operators and another director. The advantage of having lots of different buildings in one, lots of different modules in one building, is because you only need 1 director. So I could have made one building for that, one building for that, one building for that, and spread them out everywhere. But then you'd need 3 directors. And we don't want that. So let's have a look. We've got 1 operator. We need another director. And now we also need some operators. And we're not going to be able to afford anymore. So we're going to do first available and hope another pilot. Okay, so we're not got another pilot there. So we'll have a technician working there. And a pilot. Oh, recruiting costs. Yeah, so most of your money is going to be going, because everything is recycled. We don't need to buy materials. You can sometimes buy finished products, but really, yeah. Let's have the technician. Okay. So these operators are perfect. So let's just have a look here. So that's energy consumption and maintenance points. You can see that at the top when it's working. Okay. So you can see here we've got plastic waste. If we press escape, go to plastic, we've got 500 plastic conglomerate. That's come out of the recycling plant. So you see, recycling plastics. It doesn't have enough. It'll start up again when it does. So it takes all that and it's sort of, you know, puts it in bags and sends it off. So now we have lots actually. So let's begin. So we're going to turn that on. In the Neo-Industrial Corporations market, you can acquire 4 amplifiers in exchange for an influence document. These components... This keeps throwing me off. These components can greatly increase the output of your generator. So let's have a look. Ooh, actually we are. Consumption 92. So if we turn those on, we might actually go negative. We don't want that. But we're now getting the sorting operation going. So let's have a look what they talked about on the market. Yeah, and you need money. You need lots of money as well. Okay, alright. Let's talk about influence. So if we go to the govern panel, you can see that we're here, the vital reserve that's been managed by this AI for 10,000 years is going up because we've decided to stay out of the whole corporation war itself. If we get some influence... So, I don't know, it damages your relationship. But let's just rename this as blackmail. So we've got something holding over them now. And with that, we actually need 2, don't we? I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why in a second. We need 2. Exactly, thank you. So yeah, we can sort that out later. Let's go to technology, numpad 8. So we need to select them. Neo-industrial market 1. Learn how to speak neo-industrial. And now we can buy the Q1 amplifiers. That makes our generator a bit better. So if we get 4 of those, we need this much money to do that. So let's see, what can we sell? Oh, we could have done it without that. Oh, never mind. So let's see. What have I got that's worth anything? Let's just sell all of that. See what we can come up with. I don't think it's going to be very much. Like, at all. All the fertilizer. Sell our iron. How much is this worth? Gadgets. 225. And technologies. Alpha ship mission. I want to keep that. But I can always get another one. But that's not very much money, is it? 250 or 2,500. Yeah, whatever. Sell it. 2,500. Now I can afford that. Magic. So, and you can see, you know, roughly what's going on. Yellow stuff is money stuff. These guys, I'm sure you're supposed to, something will happen when you click on them, but that's not happening yet. And yeah, just came out of early access. And oh, this nice little sound effects. Now we've got those amplifiers, so we can click on the generator screen 6, and you can actually set. Oh dear. You can actually set different like priorities. At the end, your colony could be this big, so that's about 100 times bigger potentially. If you put enough hours in. There are victory conditions, actually. But we'll get into that a little bit later. So, now we are going to get our... Let's get rid of that. Going to electricity. We've got our 4 amplifiers. Drag and drop. So that's plus 10, plus 20. Let's look at the top. Plus 30... minus 22, and now minus 12. So that's giving us more. Plus 40 by the amplifiers. And that's a quality 1. I'm sure we get quality 2 and 3 and 4. And no extra sources, because you can get tidal towers on the edge as well. Maybe they latch onto these things. Who knows? So 120 required energy by all the platforms. Stored energy, and 32 to hold the dome. So if it goes below 32, our dome that's protecting us from the horrible never-ending storm outside may fail. We don't want that happening. Now we've got the energy. Let's activate all of this. So it's been sorting, but you can only actually produce one at a time per blueprint. So let's go and activate that. Let's go and activate that. So production cycles 4.22. There we are. So it'll be done by hour 10 of the 4th day. 3.89, 4.22. That's probably because he's a technician. He's not an operator. But you get what you can get because people cost a lot of money. So now, let's just fast forward a little bit. The next thing we need is self-sufficiency, and that's really food. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the seaweed farm and see what we need. We need 600 beta polymers. And we can't do that. So we now need to actually change that. We'll wait until it's finished. Stop it. Go to beta, because that's what we need. And we're going to wait till that's finished. Nice little sound effect. We'll stop that. And we're going to go to beta. And now that's running. It does have a bit of a kind of tendency to turn itself off when it shouldn't, but now it's all running apart from plastic sorting because we are, well, it shouldn't be. Yes, this is a key thing. So if I saw that and I'm like, how do I make that? Hover over it, press F2. Oh, okay. So, disassemble wiring can make that. Required mats. What's it required for? What's that required for? What's that required for? That's required for wiring. What's that required for? Control panels. What's that required for? Electronic systems. What's that required for? Drones! What are drones required for? No. That's the end of the chain. But you can do that with everything. You can see now we've got our beta polymers starting to pile up. So we need to... not recycling plant. We need to look at our seaweed farm. So we need... So that's drying seaweed. And we also need fattening seaweed. Oh wait, so this does have both actually. Let's have a look, Oh yes, health. But we can't get into everything if I want this to not be a 6-hour video. Okay. 500. So that little module, that's the fattening tower. And those are the cooling towers to make them edible. Or you can have double, if you want. But we've now got enough to make this. So, let's drag it out, see how big it is. Oh, can we fit it in there? No, we can't. It's 1 square wide. But we can fit it in. Oh no, it has to go that way. What? Nothing fits anywhere. But we only need the one, so it's fine. We'll pop it in there. 2 unlinked blueprints. We've got blueprints again. But that is in the eco one. So we need 2 green ones. We've only got 1. Let's go to seaweed fattening. That's the one that happens first. We're also going to need another director. So... Wonderful. What, is someone in trouble? Nope, they're all healthy. Let's select healthy. Here they all are. So, hydration, nutrition, morale leads to an overall health figure. So, our healthiest is 50... Oh, that's tomorrow's. So, they're all pretty much the same. We're only on day 8. But we need farmers for seaweed. So, so we don't have issues when the food runs out, basically. So, we get to self-sufficiency. So, we need to get some more money. How much is that worth? Electronic waste. That's worth a fair bit. Gadgets. Just sell it all. We'll get more. So that's worth a fair bit. Sell all that. Sell all that. And the plastics. So we're only making beta at the moment. We've got some gamma there. So that's all working. Let's see what we can do. We need 1 more blueprint. You are able to research them. We won't cover that in this video. But I will show you how it's done. So what we need is some green influence. No, we need a blueprint, but I think we can buy it. But we might need to get access to their market. So let's get some influence. Influence. We press 0. Blackmailing you. And we're going to go to research. We're going to go and unlock the eco language. And now we can buy blueprints. Why can't I buy the blueprints? Now we do. Okay. So you see, basically we're being fueled at the moment by our recycling economy. Particularly electronic wastes. It's very valuable. So now, if we go to tech, we can get lots of this. When we level up the colony, and we go to 9 for expansion, when we get to level 30, to level up, you need at least 1/3 of your max. So I can level up. I don't want to, though. Don't want to do that. So, now, we have seaweed fattening. And we need seaweed drying. We've got a lot of SHIT in this colony. Let's sell that. Cycling metals. What are you out of metals? Okay. We unlocked it. Oh, yeah, seaweed drying. Yeah. Now we need 2 farmers and a director. You know what I'm going to do? Recycling metals. Every time you're going to auto sell that. Okay, right. So now we need a director and 2 farmers. We can't afford that. It needs a director. But the others, we're just going to have to hope. A programmer! I'm sure he'll be happy farming seaweed. Or she. And now we need an extra 20. For someone else. Come on. Oh, I've got 2 directors now. Brilliant. But it always helps. So, we'll awake them. Let's try and get some more money. All of that. All of that, because we don't need it. Recycler. This is kind of, it's fun. It's kind of like gambling. It's kind of fun. Alright, so we got 2 more chances. Or actually we could just, you know, be picky. Right, so now we click this button. Ba-boom. And our 2 farmers, if they were... Oh no, they're not awake yet. So we need seaweed. And we need fertilizer. We've got a lot of fertilizer. And then they need fed seaweed. And that will produce water and a seaweed portion. Edible seaweed. Fantastic. But at the moment, remember, we are actually not collecting stuff. So what I would like to do is build another alpha hangar. I need 1 control panel. Cost 100. So yeah, you can just click that button to see whether it's on the market. And we're going to put that there. Now we need alpha ship mission. Like that. Fantastic. And we also, I believe, have another director. And a programmer. We won't need them for very long. Oh no, we had a pilot anyway! Wonderful. So, not metallic. We are going to get organic. And begin. But now we have a problem. Because we are not recycling. Why are you not recycling metals? Are you out of metals? There you go. We've got 300. They're just working too hard, those guys. So we need to build another recycling center. Just for that. Now what we can do is... No, that's not going to... Yeah, we can't add a third one on. Maybe on one of the bigger platforms, but certainly not one of those. Oh, we've got a recycler, so that's fantastic. Let's go! Yeah, so they're being auto-sold. Good, good, good. Let's go and build another recycling plant. And we just want one. I don't want that, I just want one. So we'll just get rid of that. We have no alpha now, because we're making betas, aren't we? How much is it going to cost us? Okay, alright. After you level up your colony, these are no longer available. These things, so that's not very good at all. So, template 2 for the new recycling centre. Where should we plop it? Oh, this looks like it could be potentially a good place. There we are. Wonderful smell of recycling every morning. Now we need another blueprint. It will be recycling. And ba-boom. We need 2 recyclers, including you. And I don't think we have any directors. So let's see, what can we get rid of? 700. So much poop. Right, so we need 2 recyclers, but we do definitely need a director. You can't substitute someone else in for a director, sadly. So director. Wake them up. Okay. And we'll click that. We've got 1 recycler. Let's have a look. Have we got anyone who's unemployed? He's an artisan. He's a programmer. Deanna Barber, welcome to the wonderful world of recycling. And they need to be recycling organics. And that's going to give us seaweed and more poop, which is very good. You've got loads of it, so commence! So it will take recycles 6 down to 4. Okay, so that's now started to work, which means that we've now got the chain going. So if we go F2 on that, required to produce it in a recycling plant, we know all that. Seaweed farm, seaweed fattening, required fertilizer and seaweed. We've now got lots of that coming in, so we can turn that on. And we will turn that on, but it won't activate because it doesn't have the mats. But when it does, materials, by the way. So let's just have a look. This is all on maximum speed. We've been here 20 days. $91. 4. Now that's activated. So you see it's already consumed that 100 fed seaweed. It's going to dry it out in those towers at the back. And then if we keep an eye on our food, we should see some fed seaweed. No, some seaweed, a seaweed portion. So if we go back to 5, you can see here, let's refill the larder for the next 20 days, right? And that will just get rid of both of those. Refill it. And now they're in the larder. So that's organic sustenance for food. So we can now supply the colonists for 6 days, 8 days, assuming we don't wake anyone else up. This bit in the middle we don't own. This is part of the vital reserve. This is where all the sleeping people are. And for example, if you... Yes. Great. You can see that mouse there? That is a person leaning against that building. That's the scale. When you wake someone up... Have we got anyone to wake up? Have we got the money to wake anyone up? Let's see. Let's wake up a recycler. And we'll see what happens. We'll just slow it down and awaken him. You see him come out and run, yay! And then he gets teleported inside the factory, or rather, he's just sitting in his little room. So we're going to fire Deanna Barber, delete, and we're going to press this because we've now got an actual recycler. Nolan Knapp. So now this colony is self-sufficient for a time. If someone gets sick, we're in trouble. If the shield fails, we're in trouble. But in 21 days, we set the colony up that we can now make our own food and water. This is the essence of Project Aura. And really, it is a complete time sink. It's wonderful. It's got a lot of bugs. It's got a lot of things to work out. Some people are finding it very difficult to understand, and the wiki is not. It's a bit incomprehensible at the moment, but it is there. They are trying, and hopefully, you know, if I work with the developers a little bit more on behalf of you guys, then we can actually get a really great classic title out of this game. So there we are. I do wish the camera wasn't so restricted, though. I do wish that, and I do wish you could see people. But I know they don't have the budget of Blue Byte. Those are the Anno series guys, and they don't have a big publisher behind them. So, but they've done very well, and this has been going on for at least 3 years. So they've done well. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Project Aura. Available on Steam for $19.99. Please let me know what you thought of this video in the comments below. If you have a game that you think should be covered in the Sci-Fi Spotlight, also please do let me know. We've also got a Nova Kane website coming on the way. Yes, we do. More on that a little bit later. Thank you very much. My name has been Nova Kane. If you liked the video, please press the like button. If you didn't, press the dislike button, but please do tell me why, and share the video. It helps the channel. We're a minor channel, but we've got big dreams for the future. So share the video if you liked it, or just anyway, just share it like a cold, like a virus, or a wonderful idea of a future in which Earth isn't completely, totally